It's still not quite dark, and you can see that we've actually had some little spitting snow falling out there. It's actually falling right now, and it has caused a little white on the ice, made the ice look even more treacherous. And we look down there, we've got the ducks beginning to pile up together. I suppose that kind of helps them stay warm a little bit. There was a couple, 2 or 3 big Canadian geese out there just a minute ago, big Canada geese. I don't know where they went. They were there just a second ago. A pair. They were right in there amongst, they might be up in the yard or somewhere, I don't really know. But it has fallen. You see the snow falling out there a little bit. It has dropped off to 17 degrees with a 25-mile-an-hour wind. And I'm not really positive about that wind. That's just what they're saying it is. I don't know if that's gust or, but it's blowing pretty stout out there. And with a 25-mile-an-hour wind, that is minus 3 degrees. Minus 3 degrees. 17. It's gone from 20 to 17. Really only in about 30 or 40 minutes. So once it gets dark, it's going to be worse. The fact we have cloud cover is probably going to keep the temperature up a little bit, but it's just going to be, well, it's not going to be. It really is cold. Historically cold here in Oklahoma. No deer around whatsoever this evening. They are definitely smart deer, hunkered up, not getting out in this terrible weather. They're out in it anyway, but if they stay out of the wind, they fill their hair full of air, and it's like a coat, and they get by just fine. You know, a lot of those deer live up north where they have these kind of winters every year, and thankfully we don't have them down here in southern Oklahoma very often. And I can tell you, we're not really enjoying this one. If it looks like it's really cold out there, that's because it is. That's because it is. This is the first morning of 3 that is going to be really down there where we just about don't have a temperature. And the highs today in the teens. It is right now 8 degrees. That's right, 8 degrees. Here in southern Oklahoma, 8 degrees. We have a wind of, I don't know really what it is, 15 or 20 miles an hour, which puts it down below zero. A chill temperature down below zero. I don't know how much below zero, but probably 1 or 2 or 3 degrees below zero. And it's really cold. I haven't gone to the front to look and see what the deer situation is, but we may have 1 or 2 out there. Let's go see. Well, that's an unusual sight. But as we look out there on this frigid morning, some of y'all are up north are kind of laughing at me, making a big deal out of 8 degrees and chill temperatures way down below zero. But that's a big deal here in southern Oklahoma. It doesn't happen very often. We have left our water dripping all night long, and so we don't have frozen pipes yet. But we've got 2 more days of this, so we'll see what happens. There are 0 deer out there. I looked out there a little earlier and just glanced out there, and I thought I saw 3 or 4 out there at the feeder. Maybe it was my imagination. Maybe I did, and they ate quickly and got it back out of that cold wind. We'll keep an eye out for them, see what happens. It has got up to a balmy 14 degrees out there, and we do have deer. Now, we have had deer out there a little bit earlier as well, but I want to show you how big those deer look. Now, they are big deer, but even those 2 babies, that's just a doe. And it could be red tag, I don't know, but that's just a mama and her 2 babies. And the babies are getting big, but look how stocky and everything they look. One of the reasons is because I've talked about this before, but it's just an amazing thing to me. So I always worried about Lucy, and when it was so cold, my baby Lucy being out there in the cold. And we actually let her stay in the house a couple of nights, and that's where she got to loving being in the house. But you can't housebreak a deer. You could do that with a dog, you know. You have to clean up a few messes when they're puppies, but she doesn't matter. She just poop wherever she wants to. And so we couldn't keep Lucy in the house. But one night we got a great big old snow, and Lucy was on the front deck, and she was laying right by the door. And she had 2 or 3 inches of snow on her. It just broke my heart. And I looked out there and saw her, and I brought her in. And, of course, the snow all melted, and you know, we had to mop the floor, and I dried her all off and cleaned her all up, and actually the snow probably was helping keeping her warm once it got on there. And but the deer has hollow hair, and it's a little buck right there, and they feel that fills with air, and it acts like a coat. They've got a coat on, really, what they've got. So these deer out there in chill temperatures below zero, and don't seem to be bothering them too awful much. But now that all said, they're feeding. But we haven't seen many deer today. Haven't seen many deer at all. They're all not very far away, but they're down in the draws and getting out of that wind. 8 degrees, 14 degrees, 15 degrees, all of that's really, really cold. Chill temperature's way down there. But they're like having a nice coat on out there, and they seem to be doing just fine. But most of them are just eating and going back and laying down. But I'm sure they're enjoying that sunshine too. They get down, get out of the wind, and if it's sunshine on them, they're gonna warm up a lot. It is a balmy 20 degrees out there. And actually, I think the wind's backed off a little bit. I don't know how much it's blowing. I'm getting ready to go out there a little bit myself after a bit. That buck heard me talking from inside the house. Isn't that something? Of course, I'm talking pretty loud. But that buck heard me talking from inside the house, and he got a little spooky. You see how stiff-legged he's walking? He heard me, and he doesn't know where I am, but he heard me, and you see he's going on. But that's a perfectly wild buck. Very likely one of Force's babies. That other deer over there is probably a buck as well. And Red Tag and her babies have been all around the house this morning. Beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous. They're out there, I think, right now. They're back in behind the Texas Hunter feeder, and that's the little buck right there. Yeah, it might not be ready. I think it is, though. I don't know. That might just be a doe with one baby. I think maybe that is. I don't see any how. It's hard to tell. But got the burn cans and the feeder blocking the way. There could be another deer there pretty easily. But anyway, they are enjoying the sunshine, no doubt about that. And they're enjoying the wind backing off a little bit. I think it has. I'm getting ready to go out there and do some videos in the building. So a few fishing tips. So we'll find out. Finally, we do have babies in the yard. Yes, sir. We got some. It's up to 21 degrees. I just went outside and shot some videos in the boat building, and Lord have mercy, it's cold. Lord, it's cold. Lord, it's cold. But there's several babies in the yard, maybe a half a dozen or so at least. A few ducks out there. Not many ducks, but there was a ton of ducks out there. That's a beauty right there. But there was a lot of ducks out there this morning. There's a few out there right now. I just love it when they bottoms up like that. That's so cool. They're going down, getting on grass. They're eating grass is what they're doing. It's a mallard right there in there. Ooh, that's pretty. But there's just a few ducks scattered out there, but there's some mamas and babies. That's right, there's some mamas and babies out there. That's gorgeous. Look how fat she is. She looks like she's pregnant, doesn't she? Look at that. That is a fat deer. I mean, that is a fat deer. Like a green tag. And she is pregnant. not looks like she is. She is. You know, yeah, we're really, I mean, November, December, January, February. Could have been as much as 4 or 4.5 months ago when she was bred. So she could have a couple of real pretty little babies going in her right now. And could start having them as early as, really within the next couple of months. Sometime late April, May, June, July, all of those times we'll be having babies. We should have a jillion babies this year, I hope. That's a lot of babies. That's what I'm hoping for. 21 degrees. I just been out there shooting some videos. My hands are aching. That's just how cold it is. It's really, really cold. I don't know what that was, flew by there. Okay, it might have been an eagle. Something flew by. I was all zoomed in there. I haven't seen an eagle in the last 2 or 3 days. They might have been smart enough to drop a little further south or something. I don't know. But lots of ducks still here. A lot of the ducks went south, further south. Still some treacherous roads in Oklahoma. Got down below zero in a lot of places in Oklahoma last night. Only got down to 8 here, but chill temperature below zero. Going to get even colder tonight. Cold again tomorrow night. We'll kind of watch and see what the deer do. I'm going to Meridian, Mississippi Friday and be at the Meridian there. So I'll see you there Friday night. Woohoo! 21 degrees, sunshine. The feeder went off, and the deer have arrived. Look at that. Look at that. Will you look at that? Huh? Will you look at that? That looks nice. That is so sweet. That is so special right there. Well, they are enjoying the South Fresh deer food. They're enjoying the sunshine. They're enjoying the fact that the wind has backed off quite a bit. They're still aggressive with each other around that deer food. But my, oh my, oh my. You know, if you live in a state where it's legal, oh, look at that nice buck right there, still got his antlers. There's some other bucks in there also, just do not have their antlers. In fact, that great big one right there is TC, Thundercloud. Thundercloud right there with his head right by the feeder, half of him sticking out. But, yeah, oh yeah, that's you, Thundercloud. But I think that might have been a doe behind Thundercloud, stuck his head up. But Thundercloud, that's him. I can just tell by the size of him. He's so big that you don't really need to even worry about whether you see antlers or not on him. But if you live in a state that allows you to feed the deer, some states don't. A very antiquated law, in my opinion. They think that feeding deer causes. Oh, look at that! Look at that! It does cause aggressive behavior in does. I'll tell you that for a fact. They think it causes CWD. And I don't know. Maybe it does, but the amount of deer you save from dying from malnutrition in the wintertime is way more than what you have with CWD. I'm not a biologist, so I'm not going to pass judgment on all that. I think we've had one case here in Oklahoma of CWD in a deer. We've had one or two in an elk. I think only one case ever in a deer. And I don't know about Texas. I never have heard much about it down there in Texas, but everybody's got feeders in Texas. We can feed the deer legally in most of the southern states. It's the northern states that disallows it, but the northern states have a lot of rules and laws and stuff that are made for the government, not for the people. A lot of them understand that we are the government. We are the government. We're the people. They call them government servants. And a lot of them write laws not to serve us, but to serve their own particular interest or an interest of somebody that's paying them some money as a lobbyist. But what does that got to do with deer? If you are in a state that allows you to feed the deer, Oklahoma and Texas does, you can put a deer feeder like that out in your yard. And I don't know if those things are like everything else, getting a little bit more expensive all the time. But they are worth their money by about most anything you buy. That one there, I don't know how many years old it is. It's pretty old. We've had to change batteries in it occasionally. It's a 12-volt battery. The batteries last really, really good because they got a solar charger on it. See that little solar charger on it? And so they charge up, so the batteries last really, really good. And they last, quite a long time, not just one season, but quite a long time, because even the ones that we use here on the ranch and around the hunting stands, when we don't feed all year long, the feeders, we just leave the batteries in, most of them, and the battery, they keep them charged all summer long, and they're coming on and spinning, during the times they're supposed to, and they still last, several seasons, a lot of them. But that's worth a lot right there to be able to look out there and see that. And even if you live in the city, I know one thing, I've hunted deer around Cincinnati. If you live in Cincinnati, which is probably not legal in Ohio to have a deer feeder, I don't know. But I guess if you threw some cracked corn out for the birds and squirrels, if a deer come up and ate it, I don't guess that'd be against the law. I know a lot of people do that in a lot of those northern states. And I saw a guy do a video on social media the other day, and they said, "What's that pile of corn there?" And he said, "You're not allowed to bait deer." And he said, "I'm not baiting deer. This corn is for squirrels and birds. And by golly, if a deer shows up, I'm going to shoot him. It's not his." But that's just a funny video. But where it is legal to feed them, it is really, really neat. You can, even in the city, there's a lot of deer. All over Austin, Texas, all around Austin, Texas, there's just tons and tons of deer. And you can get a lot of enjoyment. I know guys down there that go out in their yard with a can and rattle a can, and the deer will come running out of the brush and stuff around them, and they just walk all around them, and they feed them. Sometimes it's, 50 or 100 deer, particularly in the wintertime when foods get scarce. But you can tell those girls and guys are really enjoying that South Fresh deer food and the 21-degree temperature. It's going to fall down below 5 tonight. Eat a bunch, guys. It's good for you. It'll help you keep warm on a cold winter night. Y'all remember me telling you that I bought a, golly, it's cold. My hands are cold. 20 degrees and wind's still blowing really, really hard. I've got my microphone on, so I'm hoping I'm not getting too much wind noise. But Apache, I bought this little greenhouse. You see it right here? And Apache and I put it together yesterday afternoon. I came up here and was working on exactly what we wanted to do on that one over there. And so we put this together. I think I gave $200 for this on the internet. $200. And it's got a really nice, heavy, I guess 6 mil cover. It's got a really nice cover on it. It's got a door that'll fit right here. We didn't get the door put together. We ran out of daylight. But it's pretty doggone good. I'm telling you, it's pretty doggone good. I'm amazed really at how good it is. I walked through here. It looks like my head is just barely clearing, so I must have a 6-foot clearance on it. It's 20 foot wide. For some reason, I thought it was 30 foot wide, but it's only 20. 1, 2, 3. It's only 10 foot wide. It's 10 foot wide, 30 foot long. That's what it is. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking right. I think it's 30 foot long. Doesn't really look that long. It may not be quite that long. Let me measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 20 foot long. Maybe 22. Maybe, I don't know. I think 20 foot long. So anyway, but that's a nice little greenhouse. We're going to fix it up and start growing some stuff in it pretty quick. Apache has already got some seeds that I bought, and we're planting seeds, trying to grow our own little baby plants and start from scratch on that. And that's what I'm doing. My hand's about to freeze out here. I should put my gloves on. I got them in my pocket, but I got out and didn't do that. But I just thought I'd throw that in this video to let you know. It's amazing to me that they can even sell you that pipe for $200. That's really good galvanized pipe, and it's awful good, and all the bolts and stuff for it, and the top that comes to the top of it. So it's going to be pretty neat. We're going to fix that greenhouse up and start with that. Then we're going to work on that big one over there, that big fly pen. And I think that is 20 by 60 by 10 foot tall, 12 foot tall. That's what that is. So that's going to make a really big greenhouse. We'll be able to grow a lot of stuff on that. We're still going to plant our garden. We're going to play around with the greenhouse this year and see if we can learn a little bit more about gardening. And we're going to be using, one of the reasons that I'm doing all this is we're going to be planting a lot in humus-soil. And humus-soil is living soil, and no chemicals, no fertilizer. Is humus-soil, and we're going to be planting a lot in that this year. We're going to be giving some away here pretty soon. So you can, and we want you to give us some feedback. We're not going to give it away just to give it to you. We're going to give it away so you can give us some feedback, and be doing a video on that pretty soon, as soon as I can get the right to do that. And but we're going to be planting stuff in humus soil and just seeing how it goes, and doing a lot of tests with humus soil. If you're doing a garden this year, or if you're planting any flowers, or you have any vegetables or anything you're growing in your house, you definitely need to be getting humus soil by the Sustainable Green Team. It's got living microbe organism in it by the billions, and it will restore your garden, restore the soil in your garden. You'll use less water, far less water, almost no water at all is required. It'll actually create water in the ground. That's why you have to use less water. And it's just the first product they're coming out with is called Water-Less Garden. Water your garden less. And you definitely want to use that to grow your gardens this year, and it'll be available in the stores real quickly. I'll let you know that. They got packaging done right now, and they're packaging thousands and thousands and thousands of packages as we speak. So I just wanted to show you that greenhouse. I'm kind of proud of it. Apache and I did that yesterday when it was not anywhere nearly this cold. Or day before yesterday, maybe, because when did we do that? What is today? We did it Monday afternoon. That's right, we did it Monday, right before dark. Last 2 or 3 hours, put that thing together. So it's a couple $100, plus it's got $50 worth of labor in it for me and Apache. Way more than that for Apache, $0 for me. So, but anyway, just thought I'd just show that, throw this in this video, and let you know what we're doing. We are just about to fight our way through this cold front, and you can see that it again looks cold out there. The wind is blowing. The wind is not nearly as strong as it was yesterday, but that is a beautiful looking 8 degrees here at daylight. 8 degrees. You can see a couple of big Canada geese over there. And bobbing around out there. Over there. And as we look down in our little calm water where it's blocked from the north wind, we can see a pretty good little pile of ducks. Actually, not nearly as many ducks here as there was a couple, 2 or 3 weeks ago. They had a sense that this was coming, and a bunch of them left. Pure and simple, a bunch of them left. More swimming into this area. Yeah, we'll see how many will load up there. But that is a good little bunch of waterfowl. But it is 8 degrees out there. We have one more night of this single digit stuff. Might not even get into single digits tonight, but I think it's supposed to. And then it's gonna warm up. I'm going fishing. Not today, next Tuesday, when I believe that 70-degree day that I said was coming is gonna be here. Hard to imagine. 8 degrees right now, and I'm saying 70 degrees 3 or 4 days from now. We'll see. It's gonna happen. That is gorgeous right there, baby. Beautiful sunshiny day. 8 or 10 of your babies right up there eating, picking fresh rye out of that yard. Absolutely gorgeous. It's 8 or 9 degrees. 8 or 9 degrees. Your deer are all fluffed up this morning, honey. Yes, they are. I'm glad they're out there in the yard, not me. But they are gorgeous. Bright sunshine. Not much wind. Pretty sight. Very, very pretty sight. Lake looks inviting. Oh, there's 3 or 4 more over there. I didn't see those. Those are probably bucks. Ducks down there bobbing up and down, bottoms ups. So there's actually about a dozen deer out there, baby. One thing you can see over on the other side of the lake, though, to let you know that it's not as pretty as it looks, is ice on those trees over there. The tree tops, the trees sticking right where it meets the water, it's all got a sheet of ice on them. Yep. That definitely lets you know that it is not nearly as warm as it might look. And it's definitely not. Very, very cold. Doesn't seem to be bothering this little deer herd very much. A little boy getting in trouble there. Absolutely beautiful. About a dozen of them out there. A pretty good little deer herd. Beautiful sight this morning. Okay, guys and gals, that will wrap up this Friday and Saturday at the ranch antler and combination video. We're not seeing a lot of antlers, so we kind of combined all the videos this week. But we did get a lot of footage. We've just got through. We're right in the middle of that historic cold front. We have set, I think, 8 or 9 records in Oklahoma City. I don't know what we said here in Murray County. We don't really keep records. The only thing we keep track of is how much rainfall we got. And we got very, very, very little moisture out of this. But that's okay, because most of that moisture that we got was ice, and so we didn't get too much ice. And our front porch was really, really slick. I've really watched that carefully. You know, I lost my partner February 5 last year, February 6, somewhere right around in there. They slipped on the ice at his house and hit his head and never regained consciousness. So it was a tremendous loss for the family. A great loss for me. He's a great friend and a great partner here in the ranch. And so we've really been careful on that ice. I'm very, very concerned about ice. And but it's been great. We've had a really good week, fantastic week here. And we made it through the cold so far. We have one more really, really cold night tonight. We've been leaving those faucets running. You know, you got to leave that water dripping. I know that we don't like to just let water run down the drain for no purpose at all, but the purpose is not any busted pipes, which have caused a lot more time and effort and money than a little bit of water will. So we do have an unlimited supply of water here at the Twin Eagle Ranch. It's very expensive water, I have to admit, with our systems that we use to run that water through, and you know, we have great pure water, and once we get it coming out the faucets and in the showers and everything, it's fantastic water. It just costs a lot of money to get it to that point. We take it out of the lake. That lake's got in excess of 2 billion gallons of water in there. And I know the government says 2 billion is not very much. So let me tell you, it's a lot of water. It's a lot of water. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoy the deer videos out here. It's been a little bit tough out there trying to shoot them. We also let you see this week, as you, those of you that made it all the way to the end of this video, we did put that greenhouse together. We got to put the top on it yet. We'll get that done. We are going to build that fly pen into a greenhouse as well. So we're going to have really a lot of greenhouse area. We're going to plant a garden. We're still going to do that. So we're going to use the Humusol, Sustainable Green Team, SGTM. And I'm just so excited about that product. Like I said, I'm going to be giving away some of that product here sometime pretty quick, within probably the next week or two, because we're just around the corner from a lot of the areas being able to plant gardens. We probably are, I guess it'll be end of March here, maybe early April. But we're also going to plant some flowers in front of the house with humus oil. Living soil, it will repair your soil. It creates its own water underground. It takes very little water. You won't use much water at all. You're talking about conserving water. You can really do it. You can put it on your lawn, and it's going to conserve the water, make your lawn a lot better. You'll have to water a lot less during the hot summertime. It's just absolutely an amazing product. It will probably replace fertilizer in the world. This is a world-changing product. So proud and happy to be involved in it. So we're going to be doing all that, and we'll keep you informed and let you see what's all going on right here, because we're going to be testing. We've tested the Humusol, the waterless garden products and all that. We tested that a lot this last summer when it was 100 some odd degrees in the fall and everything. It was amazing. I was just absolutely blown away. But we're going to be testing a lot more on our gardens and our greenhouse, and I'm excited about everything. So guys and girls, fish lucky, and remember, I sure do love you.